Bella Powell, I'm 18, from Auckland. I'm currently a university student studying at Toi Whakaari, the New Zealand Drama School, which is, an amazing thing to be doing considering the life path I've had, that I've been able to get to this point. I've got 2 amazing older sisters and a great family, great mum, great dad. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic lung condition. I was diagnosed with it before I was born, as I had a bowel obstruction, and we found out that both my parents carried the delta F508 gene mutation, which is the cystic fibrosis gene mutation. CF affects different organs in the body for different people. For me, it's my lungs, my bowel, and my pancreas. It's a degenerative condition, so over your lifetime, your symptoms get worse and scarring occurs, and slowly your lungs deteriorate to the point where either a transplant's needed or you lose your battle with cystic fibrosis. My journey with cystic fibrosis started out way back in 2003. I was born with a bowel obstruction, which then at 2 hours old I had a 13-hour operation to remove 2/3 of my small intestine. And then after that I spent the first year of my life trying to recover from that in the Starship Hospital. And then, I got out of hospital, and then the next couple of years were great until my bowel gave up again. And I spent about 8 months back in the Starship trying to regain function of my bowel and then recover from that. And then as I got older, my lungs started to deteriorate more than we had hoped. I was hit with recurring lung infections, pneumonia, different things that kept forcing me in and out of hospital, which is extremely hard on a family to have one child in and out of hospital all the time. Like, it was incredibly hard for my sisters to grow up without a mum because she was with me. I grew up without sisters because I was always in hospital. It got to a point when I was about 13, 14 where it was going downhill really quicker than any of us would have hoped. CF controlled everything. CF controlled how I thought, how I acted, who I was. I couldn't play sports. I couldn't run, walk, laugh. I couldn't be an active part of my family because getting up in the morning was the hardest thing I had to do. I couldn't breathe. And when you can't breathe, every door around you closes because you have to isolate yourself because there's nothing you can do. I was bedridden. It's not a life that you can live when you get so sick and you get to that point with your fight with cystic fibrosis. By 15, I was faced with the transplant. Sitting in a room at 15 and having your entire family around you and the doctor look you dead in the eyes and go, "You have 2 years," is the hardest thing you have to hear. At 15, you're just figuring out who you are, what do you want to do with your life, and to hear that you're not going to have that future is crushing. I spent about 18 months on the active transplant list waiting for my phone call, waiting for it to be my turn. And I was just very lucky to be right place, right time, to be given access to Trikafta through Cure Kids founder Sir Bob Elliott, which has allowed me to get to here today. Within 6 hours I felt a difference. I took a proper breath of air and I felt oxygen enter my body. I was no longer having oxygen deprived headaches. I could walk. I ran out to the kitchen and screamed at my mum like, "I can breathe." It was this huge moment, and it's a moment I hope I never forget, is the moment where I finally saw my life coming back into focus and started to feel alive again. Not just that started to feel like I could live, not that I was just alive. Having organisations like Cure Kids is so important because it gives families hope. Hope is the most important thing you can have when you're living with a life-threatening illness. Without hope, you have nothing. Cure Kids has been a beacon of hope for so many years. It invests in Kiwi children to keep them healthy. and that is something that can be few and far between in our health system. What they do is so unique, and the way they do it is so unique that it helps every family it touches. Their work helps every Kiwi. Everyone knows someone who has been affected by some sort of health condition. Everyone knows someone who's had diabetes or asthma or cancer. Everyone knows someone. And even if you're not affected by it, by helping Cure Kids, you are investing in your friends' lives, you're investing in your family's lives. You are helping all of New Zealand get to a place where everyone can grow up healthy, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of.